can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy!
I am going to do my best to power through this day because I got no sleep last night. It was a very late night. With that in mind, you ready? Me too. Let's go. Good morning! It is Potluck Friday where anything goes. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning on this Friday. And the letters TGIF really come into play. Could not be happier that it is Friday. We are presented in part by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. Go to fusionions.com for more information. And also by Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting and Training Aids. Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Don't forget tonight, Marquette Catholic is at Elkhart Memorial. Elkhart Memorial in Elkhart, Indiana. Yours truly will have the call beginning at 6:45 this evening with the American Family Insurance pregame show. And the ball goes up at 7:05. And we'll take you from start to finish. And then Sunday, it's the ASN scoreboard show where we recap. Can't even talk this morning. This is how my night went, and this is how my morning is going so far. But doggone it, I'm here. We recap the week that was in high school and college athletics, and we tell you about the week that will be. Fitz is in the chat room. Good morning to you. He sent me a couple of cool pictures, including one of Big Papi, David Ortiz. And, oh, man, the sweetest girl on the planet is in the chat room with me. Good morning, Liz. I miss you, honey. I'm expected to be joined by Josh Lopez momentarily. This is Potluck Friday, which means no script in front of me. You'll hear a mic-to-mic replay to kick off the second half of the hour. And as I mentioned, you'll hear Blazers basketball tonight as they try to finish with 14 wins on the regular season. They will play at Morgan Township. Let me get these set of notes here in front of me. They drew a first-round bye in the IHSAA state playoffs. They'll play in sectional 49. They will play the winner of Covenant Christian and Washington Township on Friday in the sectional semifinals, and then they will attempt to get their first-ever sectional title win. If they win Friday, they'll attempt to get their first-ever sectional title win on Saturday night, and it will be at Morgan Township in Valparaiso. We'll be there for that. On the 15th is the regional. The 22nd is the semi-state. And the 29th, all the state championships will be played at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that's how we start here on Snowman in the Morning this morning. I was waiting to hear that. When you hear that piece of music in the background, that can only mean one thing. It's time for the morning wrap. And to help me is Rusty Silber. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing on this fabulous Friday?
It's Friday, and I'm smiling.
Well, it is the weekend. That's
yes.
The best part of it. It's the best way to look at it. So, morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Friday and the weekend. Rusty's Morning Wrap-Up presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Blackhawks returned from the Olympic break a bit slow, sluggish, made a couple of mistakes that were costly. The Hawks ended up losing to the Rangers 2-1 in New York. The Hawks' Peter Reagan scored the lone goal with just over 11 seconds left, and Marian Hossa nearly tied the game in the final seconds, but was turned away. The Hawks will next host the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow evening at frigid Soldier Field. Bulls have won 7 of their last 8 with a victory over Golden State the other night. Return Jimmy Butler back to the lineup, which definitely showing and paid dividends. over the Golden State. Bulls will be on the road this evening taking on the Mavericks in Dallas. Bulls also interested in Jimmer Frederick, who will be clearing waivers from the Sacramento Kings tomorrow. College basketball, more upsets in the Big Ten. Penn State surprise, 22nd ranked Ohio State 65-63. Indiana beat 20th ranked Iowa 93-86. Western Illinois lost to Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne 65-56, and Chicago State needed 3 overtimes to beat Seattle 84-77.
Wow.
Cactus League baseball. Cubs opened up its new ballpark in Mesa before a record crowd of 14,486, but lost to the Diamondbacks 5-2. Jeff Samardzija struggled a bit for an inning. Starlin Castro, though, went 2 for 2. Cubs visit the LA Angels coming up this afternoon. White Sox start their preseason taking on the LA Dodgers. This afternoon, Chris Sale will get the nod to start the game for the Sox. Brewers re-signed center Roberto Garza to a 1-year deal for $1.5 million. Also signed a 1-year deal to tight end Dante Rosario for $1.5 million. Golf Honda Classic, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Rory McIlroy has a 1-shot lead with a 7-under 63. Tiger Woods shot a 1 over par 71. Round 2 begins this morning. Auto racing, the NASCAR Sprint Cup race will be at the Phoenix International Raceway on Sunday afternoon. Soccer, the Fire concludes its preseason, taking on Chivas de Guadalajara in the final of the Desert Diamond Cup tomorrow. High school in Illinois, boys state swimming and diving at Evanston High School, and dual team wrestling takes place at ISU today and tomorrow. Lastly, Brian, remember earlier this week we talked about the IHSA? What they did with 3 public schools that were bounced out of the IHSA Class 3A playoffs. Well, they've been put back into the playoffs.
What?
Without their coaches. Bogan, Hyde Park, and Uplift had played more games than they were allowed by the state. They have been allowed to return, and their head coach is suspended for the rest of the season in the playoffs here.
Oh, wow.
Strange, last year, Phillips from the public league played many games or more games than they should have, and they were forced to miss the playoffs.
Oh, boy. That's a flip-flop if I ever heard one.
Oh, yeah. Also, word on Curry is still in limbo with a few days remaining before the playoffs begin on Monday. So that decision has not been reached yet between the public league and the state. Rusty Silber for the Arena Sports Network. Don't forget to visit TCF Bank for more information.
Thanks a lot, Rusty. I'm going nowhere near Soldier Field tomorrow. I guarantee you that.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Rusty.
Bye.
As Rusty Silber for Rusty's Morning Wrap, presented by TCF Bank. A pause for a break, and when we come back, I said this is Potluck Friday. I'm going to put an argument to rest once and for all. And I'm going to have some help in a deuce.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Come on over. How do you feel about mobile banking?
If I could sum it up in one word, easy.
It's so convenient. I actually do a lot of my banking on a mobile app.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
I love mobile banking.
With the TCF mobile app, you can bank anytime, anywhere. So how would you use it?
If I need to check my balance really quick, or if I need to transfer funds really quick, I'll whip out my phone and do the little app.
At the airport yesterday when my flight got canceled and I needed to buy another ticket.
What's the craziest place where you've banked on your phone?
In the bathroom before I got in the shower.
Yeah.
Probably a plane when you're not supposed to be on your phone. They tell you to turn it off.
In bed.
I was in Morocco in the middle of the desert.
Morocco?
Yeah. There isn't a crazy place for mobile banking. It's convenient.
Download the free TCF mobile app for your smartphone and tablet. Switch to the home of free checking today. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly connected. Member FDIC.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
And, skip it. And John, the hell with it. He's already awake. 11 after the hour here on Snowman of the Morning on this Friday. We are presented in part today by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Let's see. We got a full house this morning. My producer, Josh Lopez, is on. He'll join me for a segment a little later. Liz Rorick is in with us this morning. Jeff Escal from Sports World Radio in the house. Fitz is back with us, and Fitz actually gave me a correction. I made the mistaken statement that Marquette will try to win its first sectional. That is incorrect. They won a sectional. Let me go back up here. In 2000, so I was wrong on that. Fitz knows more than I. This is my first year covering them. He's been around them a lot longer. Thank you, Fitz, for that correction. Now, I said I would put an argument to rest. I'll do that a little later. All right, the Cubs opened their preseason yesterday. In their new ballpark, in their new spring training ballpark, they drew a record 14. It's weird to put the words record and Cubs in the same sentence. But, be that as it may, they drew a record 14,000 to their new park and lost. And I add 4 words to that. Par for the course. I must ask, I'm waiting for Ron to jump in the chat with us. If you haven't had a chance to jump on with us, please do. It's Potluck Friday, which means any and all subjects go. And nothing about biology, Joshua. Anyway, I know it's spring training. Don't get me wrong. I know it's spring training. But how are you going to christen your new stadium with a loss in spring training? That's about as bad as what Pittsburgh did in 2009 in losing to a junior college team in spring training. At least Pittsburgh later on bounced back and made the playoffs. Okay? It just makes me wonder. Well, Josh made a good point. A, will they ever win a spring training game? They'll win a couple. B, how they will start the season. And C, if they ever do get a new ballpark, which they won't. Okay, we already see that. It's just a fight that ballpark issue with the Cubs, it's a fight that's never going to be won. It's going to be a stalemate for as long as we can talk about it. They want to put a video board up, and some people want them to blow up Wrigley Field. I know it's Liz is in on the fun already. It's the Cubs. They can't win. Damn right about that. 0-10. You're only going to say 0-10. I say 0-20. Negative Nancy's. Josh, for once we're actually trying to keep this clean. But then again, it's Potluck Friday. Will they ever solve this issue with Wrigley Field? Will they ever get it right? That's what I want to know. Will they ever get the darn thing right? Will they ever come to an agreement? I'm trying to get Josh in here, and it's taking a little longer than I thought. There we go. We got that. And now this is Josh ringing me in. Good morning, Josh.
What's up? What's good? Happy Friday. Happy Hump Day? No, my bad. That's Wednesday.
You know what? With what you've All right, you know what? He's always zapping me. I'm going to zap him. You know that story you wanted to tell a few minutes ago? Since this is Potluck Friday, turn it loose.
Okay. Since you and Fitz want to be negative Nancy today, I'll go ahead. Why not? So we usually have like rehearsals before we go out to Boston, like a big like music concert that go on.
See,
for like
there's
4
the
hours.
first thing right there. Rehearsal. That makes me smile and cringe at the same time.
Anyway, so one of the office ladies, her name was Shayna. No, my bad. No, her name's Samantha. There you go. And
no.
And she was like, I think a couple years older than me, maybe like 24, something like that. And
a couple.
Hey, at least it's not like 30 like my biology teacher.
Repeating my question. A couple.
Anyway, so she saw me playing, and then we started talking, and then she said she needed help moving some stuff out of the weight room where we the football team practice.
Here we go.
I mentioned I was on the football team, and
it was over.
And let me just say that song is true. Return of the Mac.
It was over. I knew it was over. Oh boy, Voody's in the house with us. Fitz has a thought. Theo Epstein wants to turn Wrigley Field into the Fenway Park of the Midwest. Fitz, there's only one Fenway Park, and that's the original Fenway Park. What he wants to do is turn Wrigley Field into Disneyland. Hello, this is Chicago.
It's better than anything in that dump.
They'll never get it right.
You never know.
Okay, that'll never happen.
They won't win, but
wait a minute.
If you get their stadium right.
Wait, Merch says that'll happen on or off the field. Yes, that is totally true. Voody agrees. Okay, listen. Let me pose a question, Cub fans. What do y'all care about more? Winning a world championship or that doggone stadium that I want to blow up sideways?
I wonder what excuse they're going to come up next. A bird. A squirrel come out again.
Oh, yeah, I wonder that myself because they done wore that poor goat out.
Or that black cat in 1969.
You know what? Ron Santo was sick of yeah, take that word down, Voody, because it does not apply to the Cubs, okay? At least, listen, I saw a blog a few years ago when the White Sox tore down Old Comiskey Park and they built what is now U.S. Cellular Field, eventually they graced it with a championship. The Boston Red Sox were going to tear down Fenway Park, and then 2004 happened. They erased their curse, and now it's one of the best parks to visit. They blew up Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built. They, across the street, built the house that Jeter built, and they graced it with a championship. The St. Louis Cardinals went through 2 different versions of Busch Stadium. What did they do the first year they opened their newest version of Busch Stadium in 2006? They graced it with a championship. Why don't the Cubs get the point? I'm having fun with it. Listen, I'm having fun with this, folks. I'm having total fun with this. Why don't the Cubs get the point? Voody, why don't you come up with Voody, why don't you and Merch put your heads together and come up with a system for them to well Merch made a point a few weeks ago when we talked about this. No matter where they play, I care about the team as a whole. That will never change. That's a good thing. Stick with your team. It relates back to the fan conversation we had.
I got it, Brian.
Some time ago. What?
I got it. So you'll have a game. So it'll be NLCS.
Oh God.
Game 6. You have Bartman. You have Steve Garvey. You have a goat, and you have a cat, and you have them all sit next to each other on a front row level seat. They watch the game, and maybe, just maybe, they win. Or they could just blame the San Diego Padres uniform for losing.
You know what? Let me explain something, and I've said this since the night it happened. October 14, 2003, Game 6, NLCS, Cubs and Fish, all right? Tom Brenneman did the television call for Fox, and he said this, and I quote, "Well, the stars seem to be aligned for the Chicago Cubs. They have Mark Pryor going tonight, their best pitcher. Kerry Wood waiting in the wings should there be a Game 7 tomorrow. But we are talking about the Chicago Cubs," close quote. I turned off the television and walked away.
How about when Bernie Mac said they're going to be the champions during the 7th
And he jinxed them. He jinxed them. You know what? Jeff has a great thought. They don't get it because they're the Cubs. And Liz said it earlier this morning. They're the Cubs. They don't win. Okay? I'm not a Cub fan, all right? Well, Jeff has a question, and this is a good question. Since you guys are Cub fans, which loss was worse, the Garvey home run or Bartman? Both of them made me laugh out loud. King James Radio Network, my buddy Corbett Thompson is on. Mets opened Citi Field in 2009 and have graced it with mediocrity ever since. Can it?
Like somebody took a dump and they can't get it out.
See, how come? You know what? That's a great subject. How come when some teams build new places, no matter what the sport, they eventually get it right and grace it with a championship while others can't? Give you some more examples. Chicago Stadium was empty for years. Michael Jordan showed up in 1984. By 91, he had his first title. They had 2 more before they closed it and blew it up. Opened the United Center, took them an extra 2 years, but we got 3 more titles. The Chicago Blackhawks, 2 Stanley Cups in the United Center. Okay? All right, thinking here. I hate to bring up this example because I know Josh cannot stand this place, but I must use it because it does apply. It's Gillette Stadium in New England. Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Oh, God.
I have to use this. I have to use this example, and with KT.
Hey, tell me what Phil Simpson's done talking about the Patriots.
What?
Wake me up when you stop talking about the Patriots. I mean, I get it enough from CBS and ESPN.
Look, who doesn't? Okay? Who doesn't? I'm just making a championship example. Padres haven't won a World Series in Padres haven't won a World Series in Petco Park yet. See, you can put that. You know what? You can dangerously put that word at the end of that sentence because I believe even the Padres got it right. The Toronto Blue Jays played at Exhibition Stadium for many years. They built the Sky Dome. They won 2 world championships back to back. And something that my friend Kevin said a long time ago, which he said this in like 97, which is turning out to be true. He said, I think the Blue Jays can go defunct and come back and still win more World Series titles than the Cubs. How sorry is that? But you have to put the talent, to make an argument that Merch made a while back, you got to put the talent on the field. Okay? And your talent has to produce. I read an article in the Chicago Sun-Times that basically said Anthony Rizzo needs to pull his big boy pants up and start producing. And not just with hitting home runs that leave Wrigley Field either. We're talking about clearing the park. Starlin Castro needs to get his head out of the sky. I'd love to say it another way, but I'm so darn tired. Brian Payon has a thought. They won in Fulton County Stadium, built in the 60s. They graced with their world championship in 1995. Never won in Turner Field yet. And they're planning, I believe, BP, I need you to help me on this. They're planning to leave Turner Field. I believe that's it. Yep, they're moving to the northern burbs. Madness, I tell you, he says. Okay, Josh, you can wake up now.
Yep.
Talking
about the Cubs?
I never made my point about that dump in New England, okay?
All right, good.
I never made that point. But my point is, how come some teams can get it right and realize they need a better stadium and the talent, of course, and some teams can't?
I really don't think a stadium should be an excuse for why you don't win a championship.
But just look at some of the examples.
Organization sucks, and you can't provide for the talent on the field, and that's why you keep losing.
Even Liz is getting on the fun. Cubs talent can't produce anything. Marietta, Georgia, BP in with us. The Cubs talent has not produced anything since 2003. Okay, the only thing I mean this jokingly, Merch, Voodie, you too. The only thing that the Cubs have produced since 2003 is 2 documentaries about being 5 outs away from getting to the World Series. That's it. Back in the You're wrong, BP. Brian Payon joining in on the fun. It's Potluck Friday here on Snowman in the Morning. We're just having a great time. My producer, Josh Lopez, riding shotgun with me this morning. Josh, would you ever set foot in Wrigley Field?
Probably. I mean, nice little neighborhood and all. I mean, it does stink over there. I mean, you might need a gas chamber over there, but I guess why not? It's just something to do.
It comes down to this.
You know, it's funny.
Go ahead.
I went to a Sox-Cubs game a few years ago, and some kids were wearing a Cubs jersey, right? And some Sox fan from behind me said, "Oh, you're supporting a Make-A-Wish team." I thought it was a little bit hard.
It comes down to this. I know they have some great prospects in their system, but it's now time for them to build a franchise. You got Theo the Wonder Kid here, who built his championship in Boston. Championships. Okay, let me pluralize that word. But it's a big difference when you have the talent to back it up. This is what the Cubs need. They got some young talent right now, and this is probably one of the few times I jokingly say I'll speak in favor of the Cubs. But they need to build around the talent that they have, and the players that they put on the field need to get their head out of the stars and do something. Period. They just need to get together and do something. Because if you don't, it's just going to be the same thing. An additional thought from Corbett. Jets have played in 3 different stadiums since Super Bowl III. However, I do believe the Jets are cursed. You know what? That's a great subject. We'll talk about that next. Snowman in the Morning, presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. TCF Bank, surprisingly, TCF. Josh, what do you think are some other franchises? And I want to get some help from the folks in the chat room. And if you hear us, if you look at our Facebook page, go to facebook.com/snowman in the morning. And, you can answer this as well. What teams do you think are cursed? And I'm talking about cursed permanently. He mentioned the Jets. We talked about the Cubs all the time. Maybe they can lift that curse. What are some others? Josh, what do you think are some others?
The Browns. The Jaguars. The Titans.
No, I don't think the Titans are cursed.
The Bengals.
Bengals, yeah. After the way they played in the playoffs, yeah. You know who I think is cursed? Of the major franchise, you know who I think is cursed?
Yes, the
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I got a bigger one. You're surprised if you hear this from me.
Okay.
Bears.
Why do you think the Bears are cursed?
It's the same story each and every year. Our team gets fully injured. It's like a running mill story with the Bulls and the Heat. The difference is the Packers are our team, and we keep. It doesn't matter if we're freaking 12-0. Green Bay still find a way to win the damn division. so sick of this crap, man.
Fitz adds the Washington Wizards, a.k.a. the Washington Bullets.
I'll add one to that, the 76ers.
You know what? Ever since they beat the Bulls in the playoffs and 8 beating a 1, they've played like they've been cursed. The Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins have now entered the cursed territory.
The Buffalo Bills.
No, the Bills had a good run. Once upon a time, they had a Fins
4 straight Super Bowls. I mean,
and they haven't done well. They haven't done anything since. They haven't done anything since. All right.
I could say the Raiders.
Well, that's just the Raiders.
That's just the Raiders.
Come on, let's be honest. It's just the Raiders. Okay?
Right.
I believe the Nets are cursed.
How about the Indians?
You know what? 2 outs away in 1997, and they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between the Indians and the Cubs, the Indians actually got to the World Series and were 2 outs away from winning the doggone thing. I have never been BP with a thought about the Dolphins. I have never been the same since being crushed in 1984 at age 10. And Liz throws the Cowboys under the bus. I believe that, honey.
The Royals?
No. The Royals are about to beat that curse. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but it's going to be in the next couple of years.
The
Vikings, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Vikings.
Corbett with a thought. I can tell you the name of the Bengals curse. It's called Marvin Lewis. Yeah. What? Let me add this.
Where's the offense at?
Okay, Corbett. I mean this is a joke and a joke only. It's called the butt fumble on Thanksgiving night. The Detroit Lions. There you go. 85. Damn, I need to tie. I still hunt and peck. That's all right,
let's
BP.
do some college basketball teams. Notre Dame.
I'm gonna get hurt for this. I'm not saying Notre Dame's cursed.
Well, I could say it.
Yeah, you could say it because you said the. Here we go. The Kansas City Chiefs start 9-0, and they lose in the and they lose 45-44 to Andrew Luck and the Colts.
How about the Eagles?
I don't know.
No, they're cursed.
How?
Okay, Andy Reid takes them to 5 NFC championships. They lose. Oh, they won a couple of them. Lost in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They light up a bunch of big-time players, and they said this was the greatest team ever assembled. They didn't even make the playoffs that year.
No, they didn't.
And you lose to a team in the postseason that's terrible on the road, and especially in a cold weather game.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You got a point. But I can actually make an argument that Liz threw up that the Cowboys are cursed. And the curse and we talked about this yesterday. The curse begins, in fact, Jeff.
Don't ask Jeff his opinions.
I'm going to get him on right now. Jeff, hit me on Skype right now because I wanted to bring you in on this conversation. We talked about yesterday teams that are being shoved down our throats and in our faces. The Atlanta Falcons. Okay, let's go one step further. The Atlanta Hawks. Can't say the Atlanta Braves. They were Seattle Mariners. Oh, Lord.
The Rockies.
Colorado Rockies. Yeah. The Miami Marlins, since we're talking baseball.
The Tampa Bay Rays?
No, the Rays had a couple good runs. Hey, Jeff.
What's up, guys?
All right. I'm trying to bring these two calls together, so bear with me.
Add me to the conference that you guys are already in.
Okay. While I try to figure...
Let me call you back, and when I call, add me to the conference.
Okay, we'll do it. Thank you. Josh, you still with me? Dadgummit. Everybody's ringing me this morning. Jeez Louise. Hold on. Hold on. I am not getting... You know what? I think I'm gonna take a break. Hold on, man. See, this is what happens when you discover Skype as an app. Okay, Josh. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to figure out how to add everybody here. Josh, you with me? Josh? I lost him.
What?
There you are.
What?
I'm not picking on Atlanta. I got no reason to pick on Atlanta. All right, I'm going to try to find a way to add some people here. Yes, I know. Everybody's trying to ring me at once. This is all being done on the fly, okay? Yes, I know. Dadgummit.
I'm out.
What did you say? There we go. We're talking about cursed teams, and I'm trying to add some people into the conversation. With the Marlins, Corbett has a thought. With the Marlins, there's a difference between cursed and cheap. True. Turn my headphones off. I am sorry. South Carolina Gamecocks are being shoved down our throats, and BP is married to an alumnus of South Carolina. How about that? What are some more? Okay, Josh. What are some more college teams you think are cursed?
Northwestern.
Leave my cats alone.
But I like Northwestern. I like Northwestern. Northwestern's my favorite college football team.
This year, they were cursed with injuries, and lots of them.
Hey, Brian, can you tell me why are we covering Notre Dame? It's Chicago, not South Bend, Indiana.
Well, it's an extension. I'll answer that question.
It's Chicago.
But it's an extension, according to mainstream.
Okay, so do we cover the Indiana Pacers as well?
Sometimes.
That's dumb. I'm sorry. You should cover your own city's teams. I'm trying to watch Sox highlight, and I'm getting a story about a wide receiver from Notre Dame. I'm like, come on.
Well, they consider it an extension. Fitz says Illinois, the Fighting Illini. Well, it's like I said, South Bend and Notre Dame are considered an extension of Chicago. That's as far into Indiana as they'll go without going to Indianapolis. Everyone knows Northern Indiana, the eastern burbs of Chi-Town. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that because I started noticing this in '90. A lot of stuff that goes on in Northwest Indiana is covered by Chicago News, including Notre Dame. It's an extension. Notre Dame and South Bend, Indiana have become an extension of Chicago. and Liz says what she just said in the chat room because he... Oh, Lordy. Josh, you still with me? Oh, don't... Okay, Josh, where'd you go? Dadgummit. I'm flipping around on the fly, so hang with us. I've never been anywhere near Chi-Town. Man, come on, BP. Be nice. You're not dumb. You're just having fun with us. Josh, did I lose you? Everybody's trying to ring it in once. And I know I haven't taken a break in a while, and I'm not going to. We're just having fun with a subject here. But South Bend, Indiana has always been an extension of Chicago. Okay? It's always been an extension. And I've seen that for years. Irish beat Georgia Tech the other night. Yeah, true. They did. But what do you all think that are some other... Professor B, hold on. I'm going to get to you. Good. I hate Tech. BP, what are you, a Bulldogs fan? What fan are you, BP? Find that out. You still with me, Josh? I guess not. Like I said, mind you, we're doing all this on the fly. This is Potluck Friday. He's with his biology teacher. Oh, Lord. Oh, Mert, you are so wrong. Jacksonville.
It's better with doing that instead of wasting 10 minutes talking about Indiana. Can we change the subject?
Oh, come on. Be nice now. I used to live over in Indiana.
I know, but we got a time schedule.
This is Potluck Friday. Any and everything goes. And Merch just raised in Stone Mountain, Georgia. He's born in Florida, and he's a Gator fan. Oh, boy. Now I got to pick on BP. Why are you a Gator fan? Raised in Stone Mountain, Georgia. He's a fan of the Jacksonville Sharks of the Arena Football League. They won a championship recently. Why are you a Gator fan, BP? I'm just picking on him because of that fact. When did Josh? How long have you been a Northwestern fan? While I'm asking about fandom here.
My whole life. My mom
Good
works
answer.
for the mail USPS in Wilmette.
Okay. Oh boy, I've started a fight. No, Brian Payon started a fight saying he's a Gator fan, and Fitz says Gators suck. This is why we do this, folks. This is why we have so much fun doing this, and I'm trying to figure out technology and do this on do this on the fly. And I think the mistake I made is using my Skype that's an app and not having Skype downloaded to my computer. That's my mistake. I'll figure this out as we go. What are some other college teams you think that are cursed, Josh?
I really don't watch college sports that much, so I'd probably say USC.
Lately, yeah. Lately, USC has been cursed with mediocrity. And you made a point about the Vikings earlier. Yeah, I agree with that too. And they blew up the Metrodome finally.
What took so long?
Huh?
What took so long?
I don't know. Here's what happened. They couldn't
what are they
figure
going to do?
out.
They're going to play in the Twins Park now?
They're going to play at TCF Bank Stadium where the Golden Gophers play.
Oh, we should get media passes.
There you go.
Our sponsor.
There you go. Liz said, you know what Liz just said? Tennessee. There you go. Oh, Lordy. At Nice High School. Oh, my gosh. Tennessee Volunteers, yeah. There hasn't been anything going on in the checkerboard end zone for a while. There hasn't. There really hasn't. All right, I got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have some more fun on this Potluck Friday. I want you all to stand by as Snowman in the Morning continues. As I said, it's Potluck Friday, and we'll be back in the deuce.
Hey everyone, Ed Farmer here. As a closing pitcher for the Sox in 1980, I racked up 30 saves, the Sox record at the time. But thanks to a life-saving kidney transplant in 1991 from my brother Tom, someone else helped save me. Just like my organ donor, you too can give someone a second chance at life. In fact, as a registered organ donor, you can help save the lives of more than 25 people. Be a team player. Register to be an organ and tissue donor at DonateLifeIllinois.org.
Register today to be an organ and tissue donor at DonateLifeIllinois.org. My name is Matt Rencars, and I'm the founder of Fusion Ions. We are so confident that you're going to love our bands. We want you to try one risk-free so you can see for yourself how powerful these bands really are. Don't wait. Go to FusionIons.com to find out how you can receive your very own free Fusion Ions band. Take advantage before they are gone. FusionIons.com. That's FusionIonz.com.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
I'm going to figure this out one way or another.
I was driving, trees went by, me and Del were singing, Little Runaway. I was flying, yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me, working with mystery, going wherever it leads, running down a dream.
So, man, in the morning on this Potluck Friday, 49 beyond the hour. We got the Gigahertz question of the day coming in just a moment, and this has been a wild episode. Thanks to everyone that has tuned us in. It's pouring. What did he just say? It's pouring rain, but about time we needed the rain. Okay. Yeah, BP, Jeff is in San Diego. This is probably going to take an episode for me to figure out, but some kind of way, I'm going to figure out how to add people, because I got Josh on. Josh, you still with me? Dadgummit. You know what? Snowman got an idea. Will you hold on, Professor B? I know he's... Oh, boy. Makes it hard to get up for the... All right. All right, I'm going to... Rastafari, y'all are crazy. But they can't win it. This is true.
Yo.
Where the hell you been?
Hear me? I was way through commercial break. I was getting ready for school.
Oh, you got to go to school?
Yes, sir. Leaving in about 10 minutes.
Well, okay, if you must. Well, you graduate soon, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to have a big party.
I'll try to listen through my phone.
Okay, fair enough. Now get the heck out of here. You head to school.
All right.
Josh is graduating soon from the Illinois Center of Broadcasting, and we are going to tell him congratulations in advance. I think it's March 20th is the magic day, is it not?
Yes, sir.
All right. Congrats in advance. I know you put in a lot of work, and you continue to put in a lot of work. And from the heart, even though I pick on you as much as I can from the heart, I am very proud of you and very appreciative of you, brother.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem, man. Besides, you're the one that came up with the term Exelon files. How can I not appreciate that?
We haven't done a full Exelon files show yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Do me a favor, folks. Tell Josh congratulations on his pending graduation. It's on the 20th of March, and Merch is adding a thought. The California Angels had a lot of bad luck in the 70s and 80s and off the field. Yeah, this is true. I need to take a vacation out there. Never been west of Dallas. Why haven't you ever been west of Dallas, BP? Can you tell this is our potluck episode? I have learned the hard way it's all or nothing with Skype. Yeah, you got a point, KJ. You got a point, KT. Well, we wish the Red Sox well, too. They are the defending world champions. And Fitz, thank you for coming on, and thank you for coming on with us. Like I said, folks, do me a favor and show some love for Josh, my producer. He's graduating on the 20th of March from the Illinois Center of Broadcasting. I've worked with this young man. You know what, Josh? As crazy as you are, and I love the fact that you are crazy, you're just plain awesome because you do put in a lot of work. And this is what a lot of people don't realize, how much work you do put in. But I do, and you are appreciated.
Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it.
Well, it's the truth.
I know.
It's the truth, man. All right. You get the heck out of here and head for school, and you be safe, okay?
All right.
Right.
I'll try to be in the chat.
Okay. We'll look for you in the chat. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
That's my super producer, Josh Lopez, and I'm gonna get Jeff on here in just a moment. About time you're graduating. Jeff, be nice. I know he's kidding. I know he's kidding around. I know he's kidding around. This is our potluck episode. I said this for a while. All right, let's do our question of the day. If the Cards had Bob Gibson, the Red Sox wouldn't be defending champs. But the Cards don't have Bob Gibson, Merch. Okay? They don't have Bob Gibson. Okay, listen. We're going to have our baseball episode here in about 2 weeks' time. So look out for that. We're going to have our baseball episode here in about 2 weeks' time. Look out for that. The NFL draft comes in April. We're going to have a special episode about that. St. Louis Rams are cursed. Yeah. They were cursed when – well, I can't say they were cursed when they got to St. Louis because they did win a Super Bowl and appeared in another. So I can't say that. But where do you find a Ram in St. Louis? That's what I want to know. Where do you find a Ram in St. Louis? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Jeff Escow join me for the second hour because we're going to get all this stuff right. But now let's do our question of the day, and it's presented by Gigahertz. And the question of the day goes a little something like this. I saw a post on Facebook of a picture of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. On the top and on the bottom was LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. Here's the question of the day. Let's put those four together in a 2-on-2 game. LeBron and Kobe on one side, MJ and Pip on another side. Who do you think wins? Y'all already know my answer. I choose MJ and Scottie the whole time because they actually played defense. They actually knew what defense meant. Hell, you're talking about and I'm going to back this up with some facts. But I know for a fact that MJ was a defensive player of the year, and MJ and Scottie were members of the all-defensive team. Now, I do not know that to be true about LeBron James. I'm going to find out here in just a moment. Maybe Fitz can do some quick research and tell me if he's been a member of the all defensive team. I want some pieces to cover the Red Sox. Yeah. But in that 2-on-2 match, I'll choose MJ and Scotty all day. And I base it purely on defense. And I also base it on the fact that MJ and Scotty had a killer instinct. When they get ahead, and they did this, they did this throughout their entire career. With the Bulls. When they get a lead, they want to crush you. Period. They want to crush you. They want to make sure you do not come back. Okay, I have been corrected, and I just found this out. LeBron has been a 5-time member of the NBA All-Defensive Team. 2009, 2010, his last 2 years with the Cavs, and then the last 3 with Miami, 11, 12, and 13. So he has been a member of the All-Defensive Team, as has Kobe. But I'm talking about pure defense. And you're right, Liz. You're absolutely right. They know how to share the ball, unlike LeBron and Kobe. It's true. But Merch has an additional point, and I think this is fair. It's always tough to compare this due to the fact these are different eras. So true. I'd say each, and Merch adds, I'd say each one would win in their own era, and they have. It's just a fun comparison to make with this pair. It's just a fun comparison to make with these two pairs, because MJ and Scotty were the faces of the Bulls for 13 years. Now LeBron and Kobe have become the faces of the NBA. All right? It almost bears an unfair question of what if those two were on the same team? Thirsty Thursday, BP, you're a day behind. I know he's talking about a place down in Fort Myers. I know that, or in Jacksonville. Oh yeah, and baseball happens too. I love it. But to get back to the point with comparing these 4 stars, these 4, I guess you can say they're legends. MJ and Scotty definitely. Kobe's there. LeBron's getting there. So I'm glad I married a sports fan lady. BP, I'm about to marry one. All right. But Liz made a great point about sharing the ball. And a lot of fans will make the comparison that because of LeBron and Kobe being where they are right now, which is actively playing, that they would have an advantage. But MJ and Scotty haven't stopped playing. From an NBA organized standpoint, they've stopped playing. Yeah. I would also like to team Jordan and James and Kobe and Pippen. Wow. There's a matchup. There's a matchup right there. Fort Myers Miracle, farm team of the Minnesota Twins. There we go. But who do you think would win in a 2-on-2 matchup with MJ and Scotty on one side and LeBron and Kobe on the other? Give me your thoughts on the Facebook page, facebook.com/snowman in the morning. All right, I'm going to wake up Jeff. I know he's already awake. I'm messing around. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to get Jeff on here, and we're going to talk a little Tony Romo. And I'm going to let him just turn it loose. All right? We usually have Mike to Mike to kick off the second half of the hour. Can't get a chance to tape any episodes for this week. We will return next week with that. But Jeff Escal is going to ride shotgun with me for the second hour. Come on back. Introduce.
Anne-Marie specializes in premier 5-star vendor and craft shows. She also offers event planning for special events of any kind. Anne-Marie's goal is to provide both her vendors and shoppers with an exceptional experience, believing that promotion is the key to any successful event. Anne-Marie has developed personal relationships with her vendors and is constantly being sought by vendors who would like to participate in her popular events. Experience. Anne-Marie is a perfectionist and very creative. She is 100% committed to each event from beginning to end and believes that promotion is the key to any successful event. No stone will go unturned as it relates to promotion. For the ultimate in event planning, contact Anne-Marie today at 219-741-0435 or visit anne-marieprince.com. Premier events in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana are brought to you by Anne-Marie.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike. About your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. And so what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
Visit DrastichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drastich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
All right, let's get back to Wake. Snowman in the Morning, presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. It is Potluck Friday. If you've been hanging out with us and riding along shotgun with us, we thank you. Thanks to all the fans that have tuned us in. And Brian Payon immediately with a thought by, oh no, Brand. Oh no. Y'all wrong. You are wrong, BP. You are absolutely wrong. All right? I love it, but you're just so wrong for that. All right, second hour has Jeff Escal riding shotgun with me from Sports World Radio. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Brian. How are you, my friend?
I am doing great, man. Y'all have made this a fun potluck episode. I thank you all for it. This is how much fun it is. I don't even have a script in front of me. I just tell what's going on this week, and let me get this in. Marquette Catholic will take on Elkhart Memorial tonight at 6:45 for the pregame show. I listened to your show the other night where you went in on Tony Romo, and I'm just going to step back and I'm going to let you take control of the microphone for that because, and I'll lead with this, everybody wants to put Tony Romo on a pedestal, and he does not deserve it.
Why?
Earlier this week, and thank Josh for this subject, we talked about players and teams that are being shoved down our throats that do not have the credentials. And the Cowboys and Tony Romo fit that category. You threw some numbers out. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Tony Romo's been there for how long now? 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years.
Since 2003 pretty much, so 10 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this will be his 11th year.
Super Bowl?
Yep.
One Super Bowl in 10 years? Nine of those seasons have been at 500
or
below.
less, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a great quarterback. 4 NFC East titles. They're 144 and 145, including the playoffs. Boy, that's a great quarterback you got there.
That's a great resume.
Come on, Jerry Jones. I blame Jerry Jones more than I blame Tony Romo.
Yeah, because Jerry Jones led him on the roster.
Well, Jerry Jones says, I'm the owner, so why shouldn't I be the general manager? Because you stink at it. That's why.
Someone said that Jerry Jones has made a mistake and continues to make the mistake of not hiring a general manager, and I couldn't agree more with that because the general manager would not make the mistakes that Jerry Jones has made since this Tony Romo era, if you want to call it that, has begun. Now, I had some. Go ahead.
Took over at 1996, 1997, right, as a GM when that was the last time they won the Super Bowl. Correct?
Yeah.
Hello.
That should tell you everything right there.
Exactly.
That should tell you everything right there. Jeff Escal, Sports World Radio, riding shotgun with me for the second hour, and I thank him for that. Talking all things players and teams being shoved down our throat, and particularly the Cowboys, who are still, and this is what gets on my nerves, Jeff, they are still being billed as America's team, and I don't know why.
Me neither.
I don't know why. Here is what defines, for me, this past season, here is what defines the Cowboys season. And I do not make this opinion just on opinion alone. I'm going to back this up with one game, with a fact from one game. And I think you know the game that I'm going to. They played the Green Bay Packers in Dallas, or in Arlington. They led that game 26-3 and lost by a point.
That's because their defense stinks.
Their defense stinks, and they turned the ball over 3 times in the fourth period.
Well, who do you blame for that?
Their defensive coordinator, if they had one. There you
Well,
go.
they just changed defensive coordinators.
They can't get it right.
Again, what are you doing, Jerry? And not only that, Tony Romo's going to have the third different
offensive coordinator
in his ear in 3 years.
Yep.
Boy, that's consistency right there, Jerry Jones. Good job, buddy.
Okay, we know about the mistakes Jerry Jones has made. We've already justified Tony Romo, and Liz has a great point. Romo doesn't know how to control the game or manage the clock. That Green Bay game proved it. How do
they put Tony Romo in the top 10 of quarterbacks? I just don't
by numbers
see it.
Okay, here you know what? You and I can look at a quarterback's performance and a lot others, not just you and I, because Liz does it too. She and I talk about it all the time. We can look at quarterbacks and different players, the way that they play, that defines who they are. They put Romo in the top 10 for numbers only. Period.
Mm-hmm.
For numbers only. He went head-to-head, and everybody wants to say, oh, they almost beat Denver. But they didn't. Romo
Almost
threw
don't
a
count.
pick that set up the winning points. Period. He threw a pick that set up the winning points. If you have a quarterback that's in the top 10 and you have the ball in a tie game, you work the ball down the field until your team gets the winning points. You brought them back from a deficit, okay? He did bring them back, but he also cost his team the game, and it is not the first time.
No, and I don't care what anybody says. He is an average quarterback at
best.
And I've been saying it for years, and everybody tells me I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy.
Joe Theismann went on national TV and said the same exact thing.
He is an average quarterback. Everybody wants to put him in the upper echelon, and he does not belong there.
No, he doesn't. Especially after the year that the NFL just had with all these quarterbacks, he's going further down.
Yeah, his stock has done nothing but drop. And I'll give you another play. I'll tell you the play. And Fitz says they haven't had a quarterback since Danny White. Well, yeah, they have. His name's Troy Aikman, who's a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. But, they need Liz says they need a new defensive scheme. I think they just need a new scheme, period. With some consistency.
What they did was they flipped defensive coordinators. Rod Marinelli now is the defensive coordinator.
Why?
Why? Because because what's his face couldn't do the job.
No,
Obviously,
that's true.
He's too freaking old.
Mm-hmm.
Monty Kiffin.
Yeah,
So
that
Monty
last name
Kiffin
should
is
say.
not the defensive coordinator no more. Rod Marinelli is, and Monty Kiffin is doing something else.
Yeah, Kiffin. That last name should strike fear in the hearts of players. Not.
Yeah, right. Lots of luck with that.
Not.
Rod Marinelli. Now his defense strikes fear in teams.
Mm-hmm.
But can Dallas get the personnel to play his defensive scheme?
And
I do believe that they're going to be cutting Ware.
Yeah, DeMarcus.
Well.
Yeah, I think DeMarcus Ware is going to go bye-bye.
You know what? If I'm DeMarcus Ware and they cut me, I go to the Giants and say, I want to play for you.
And just unleash all the pent-up energy
on Tony Romo.
Yep. on everybody.
For 2 games.
Not just
for 2. Yeah, especially when you go and you play Dallas for 2 games.
Listen, not just Tony Romo, on everybody. On everybody.
They gotta release him and just let him and so he can just leash himself.
Romo is a second-tier quarterback, and that's being nice. Liz
being real nice.
Liz said Romo's a second-tier quarterback. You know what, Liz? Honey, that's just being nice, okay?
That's super nice, because I don't even think he's in the top 4.
That's being nice. And I never, with the discussions that I've had with my friends about quarterbacks, I have never and will never put Tony Romo in either the first or the second tier.
Oh, I need to ask you a question, because I've been saying this, and I love this guy. I believe in my heart of hearts that if you take Andy Dalton and put him in as the Cowboys quarterback, they go to the playoffs and win playoff games. I think Andy Dalton is a better quarterback than Tony Romo.
Twice as better.
My opinion.
Andy Dalton just needs some more weapons.
And he needs a team.
He does.
Right.
He does need a team. Okay, I had an argument with a friend of mine. We were talking about quarterbacks. Jeff Escal riding shotgun with me for the second hour of Snowman in the Morning, and we thank everyone for listening. We are presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Fitz has a thought. Bring DeMarcus Ware to Chi-Town to join Julius Peppers.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
Julius.
You go.
Only problem is Julius Peppers needs to heal. Or you can bring DeMarcus Ware to San Francisco and give Justin Smith a rest.
That would help. Wouldn't that help out Harbaugh as well?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
What in the wild world of sports is going on with that?
You know what? It's a rumor gone wild. That's my honest opinion. It's a rumor gone wild. What's going to happen is when draft day shows up, Harbaugh and their ownership are going to be on the same accord. All right? Reports are coming out that Harbaugh was about to be traded to Cleveland. That ain't going to happen, okay?
No.
Harbaugh loves his team in San Francisco. If were it not for Harbaugh, they would not make 3 consecutive NFC title games with a win in Atlanta and damn near a win against Seattle. But credit that Seattle defense for one hell of a play at the end of the game. All right?
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree with you on
Fitz says, I love that rumor. Sorry, Fitz. It's a rumor, and it ain't going to happen. But be that as it may.
Cleveland Browns. That's a joke and a half. Kidding me. When I saw that, I almost fell out of my chair.
You and me both. Romo's is okay, I already read that. Liz had a second thought, and the chat scrolled on me real quick. But what's going to happen is that all these rumors are going to die down because it usually happens.
Liz says Cowboys need a real leader, not Romo.
They need Troy Aikman to reincarnate. They need a Troy Aikman reincarnation. Okay, they need a triplets reincarnation. Thank you, Liz.
Hey, Jerry, you want to be a good general manager? Here you go. Trade Tony Romo to the Cincinnati Bengals for Andy Dalton straight up.
Or here you go. Liz has a great thought since we're talking football. Or DeMarcus to the Colts to help out Robert Mathis.
There you go.
That's a hell of a move. But think about DeMarcus Ware on teams like the Giants, the 49ers, the Colts, with already great defenses, and DeMarcus would put them over the top. I really believe that.
But if I'm DeMarcus Ware, I want to go to an NFC East team because I get to play twice against the Cowboys each year.
And I get to kick Tony Romo's ass.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens with DeMarcus. But DeMarcus Ware is going to go bye-bye.
Yes.
And if I were DeMarcus, I would not come back. Because my opinion, they have disrespected DeMarcus Ware in every way, shape, form, or fashion the last 4 years. He's been one of their top-level defensive players, and they have done nothing to show him that kind of appreciation. Who wants to coach a team that has no emblem? There you go.
Nice.
A team that has no emblem. I could not see myself in a Cleveland Browns helmet, hat, jersey, or whatever. I saw a picture I saw a picture online, and I know you'll appreciate this. Someone had created a Cleveland Browns jersey with a list of every quarterback they have had since 1999. I'm going to find I'm going to find that picture, and I'm going to send it to you.
How many quarterbacks is that? 165?
19. I think 19 is the number I was given.
That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll see what we'll see what happens with DeMarcus Ware. Again, Jeff Escow riding shotgun with me for the second hour of Snowman in the Morning, and I thank him for that. You can listen to
you said you listened
Radio.
To my show the other day, right?
Yes, sir.
You see how crazy I went off on the NCAA worse than I did on here?
Okay, and I'm going to step back and let you go off again.
Because I just don't understand it. I just don't get it.
Well, you know how the ranking systems are.
Yeah,
they're tilted.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that for years. They're tilted.
I'm baffled by it, and I hope we get that San Diego State, Wichita State. I want to see Wichita lose tonight.
Here's a thought that Liz has. Jerry Jones doesn't care about DeMarcus Ware because he cares more. She says Romo is his baby, and she's absolutely right.
100% correct.
She is absolutely right.
Yep.
Okay, if you cared about your team, Jerry Jones, then you would have taken care of DeMarcus Ware 4 years ago. You wouldn't have
gave Tony Romo $106 million because you don't freaking deserve it.
You could have given half of that to DeMarcus, and he'd be set for life.
Exactly.
He'd retire a Cowboy if you take care of him.
Exactly.
If you take care of folks like DeMarcus Ware, he'd retire from your organization, period. Okay?
And I've heard Jerry Jones say defense wins championships. Well, you're getting rid of a great defensive player. What are you, a moron?
Jerry Jones has dismantled, that's the word I was looking for. He's dismantled that defense piece by piece. And the biggest piece is about to go, and it ain't coming back.
Hey, Fitz, you're freaking 100% wrong about that statement right there.
Fitz says Wichita State deserves the number one ranking, and I want to let me get this started here. Fitz, why don't you in the chat say why they deserve the number one ranking? Let's get a little debate going, and I'm going to have Jeff tell his reasons why San Diego State deserves a higher ranking before Wichita State gets a number one ranking.
That's just nuts. That statement is crazy right there.
Here you go. Merch has this thought about Romo. Romo is to Jones what March was to Lovey. Yeah. Yeah. Get rid of, and Liz has this thought. Get rid of Romo, not Ware.
Yeah. Trade Romo to the Cincinnati Bengals for Andy Dalton, and you'll go right into the playoffs.
Okay, you know what? I got an idea for you. You know what you do? You know what you do with Romo? This is what they used to do to teams back in the NBA when the Clippers were just god-awful. You send a player that does not deserve the billing that they're getting. They used to send him to the L.A. Clippers. They used to send him to the Clippers in exile. You know what you do with Tony Romo? Exile him to Cleveland and see what he does there.
Exile him to you know something? You put him on the Seattle team as the quarterback, they don't go to the playoffs.
Not at all.
You put him on Denver, they don't go to the playoffs. You put him in San Francisco, they don't go to the playoffs.
Even sniff the playoffs if they if he goes to teams like Seattle, Denver, San Francisco. They don't even sniff the playoffs.
No. But I bet you if you put Russell Wilson in Denver, they go to in Dallas, they go to the playoffs.
Easy. But then again, they may not, and I will tell you why. I don't think Jason Garrett has the wherewithal that Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh, and other quarterbacks have done, which is tailor the offense to your quarterback's strengths. That's what these coaches have done. When Jim Harbaugh took a gamble and inserted Colin Kaepernick into the lineup instead of Alex Smith, who, people need to remember, did not clear the concussion tests. So Harbaugh had to make a decision. He inserted Colin Kaepernick, and the next move he made, he tailored the offense to Kaepernick's strengths. Pete Carroll, when he drafted Russell Wilson, what did he do? He tailored the offense to Russell Wilson's strengths. John Fox did the same thing with Denver. A smart coach tailors his offense to his quarterback's strengths. They have not done that with Romo because Romo doesn't have any strengths. He's forced to throw 50 times a game because, number one, he doesn't have a running game to couple with, to couple with, and number two, he's running for his life most of the time. All right. So it's kind of hard to put Romo in the upper echelon when they haven't even made the move to tailor an offense to his strengths. But then again, you don't know what his strengths are because he hasn't been a consistent quarterback since he's been with the Cowboys, period.
Correct.
Now, here's a second note that Jeff and I talked about, and I love this discussion. Fitz is already at
crazy. He's going crazy in here, ain't he?
Wichita State and San Diego State. Everybody has seen Wichita State. They've been blasted all over the television, especially a lot lately. All right? And I said on an earlier show that I give kudos to all of the mid-majors that have done good. The one thing that is in Wichita State's favor is where they ended up last year, which was the Final Four. All right? Are they a Final Four team this year? I don't know. I have not had a chance to watch them consistently. Is San Diego State a Final Four team? I don't know. Same reason. You've seen San Diego State, Jeff, so you can offer a better opinion on San Diego State. Where do you see them going, and how come, aside of the reason that they're on the left coast, they're not getting any love that they need?
Because it's the strength of the schedule and because they're on the West Coast. And I could see them being a Final Four team. What are they, 23-4, right? 23-3 or
23-3. 23-3, I think.
They went from 6th to 13th. Hey, Fitz, here you go, buddy.
Fitz just sent me a picture wearing a Cleveland Browns shirt.
Oh, God. No wonder why he wants Wichita State as number one team.
But taking a look at...
Hey, Fitz, really quick. Do you know who Emporia State is?
I bet you he does.
William Mary.
William and Mary, I'm actually familiar with because they had a...
But these are the teams they play. Tulsa, Western Kentucky, Tennessee State, BYU, we all heard of, DePaul, Wichita, Oral Roberts.
But they
play nobody. They haven't played a ranked team all freaking year.
But with San Diego State, and I agree with you on this, Jeff. I agree with you on this. San Diego State has 2 legs above Wichita State for these reasons. They hung with Arizona within 5 points of them in Tucson, and they went to Fog Allen Fieldhouse and beat the Jayhawks in Lawrence, Kansas.
Exactly.
So those, to me, those are 2 legs up on their resume. Okay? Those are 2 legs up on San Diego State's resume. Now, when Selection Sunday gets here in 4 weeks' time, we know where everything will come out in the wash. But I do believe that San Diego State deserves to stay in the top 10, if for nothing else, before those 2 reasons. And here's another thing that gets on my nerves about teams that don't get enough recognition, especially the ones on the West Coast. When they lose to someone in their conference, as San Diego State lost to New Mexico, the pollsters are waiting for them to slip. They're waiting for, and not just teams on the West Coast. Let me just say this. They're waiting for the underdogs to slip. They're waiting for the underdogs to slip. And once they slip, they will knock them down as many pegs as possible to make their point. And their point that they're trying to make is, you're not Kansas, you're not Duke, you're not North Carolina, so you don't deserve what you deserve, and we're going to prove it to you. And yet those teams, San Diego State, I will throw Wichita State in this conversation because of the pure fact that they were underdogs that got to the Final Four last year. Teams like that, the pollsters are waiting to fail. What if they don't? I mean, what if San Diego State makes a surprise run through the NCAA tournament and proves everybody wrong?
They can play with the big boys.
They have already.
Mm-hmm.
They hung with one. They hung with the number one team in the country at the time, which was Arizona.
Yeah.
And everybody's waiting for them to fall. And they hung with Kansas, and everybody's waiting for them to fall. And all Kansas has done is seal another Big 12 championship. So the resume plays itself out.
Kansas has got 6 losses,
and they're ahead of San Diego State.
Correct.
2 weeks till Selection Sunday. Thank you, Fitz. I said 4. I meant 2. Thank you.
2.
Because championship week is right around the corner. God, I can't wait for that.
Just drives me nuts that Kansas is number 5 and they're 22-6, and San Diego State is
23-4.
Yeah, 23-4, and they're number 13. Drives me freaking crazy.
Well,
Same thing with Duke. Duke's got 6 losses also.
Well, part of that is popularity also. You know that. I know that. Fit, let me ask a question for the folks in the chat room right now, and I got some great answers, and I did this before. And, Jeff, let me get your take on this as we talk college basketball here on Snowman in the Morning. Jeff Escal, Sports World Radio, riding shotgun with me. If the Final Four were to commence tomorrow, who are your Final Four teams? And, Jeff, let me come to you right now. Who are your Final Four teams right now?
Florida.
That's 1.
Syracuse.
2.
San Diego State.
There you go.
And Arizona.
You know what? I would put San Diego State in the mix because of the 2 things I said. Hanging with Arizona and beating Kansas. I don't trust Florida right now. I love Billy Donovan, but I don't trust Florida. I would have to see them in the SEC tournament. But do they deserve a high ranking? Yes, they do. Fitz says, there you go. Carolina, Kansas, Syracuse, and Florida. I would take Kansas out of the equation, and I'd insert Arizona. But aside of San Diego State, the hottest team right now is North Carolina.
Yeah, but they're number 19 right now.
But still, I'm talking about just in terms of pure wins and who they got the wins over.
They got a big game coming up against Duke, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I believe
love watching those games. Those 2 teams beat the crap out of each other.
Those are fun games to watch.
Yes, they are.
Those are fun games to watch. Josh says Arizona, Florida, Wichita State, and San Diego State. Ooh. Put them both in the Final Four. You know what would be fun?
Well, you know what? That's not going to happen because Wichita State, Kansas, and San Diego State are going to meet each other before that happens.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that happen in the Final Four, though.
One of those 2, it just plays itself out that one of those 2, Wichita State and San Diego State, would be eliminated before getting to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be fun to see Wichita State and San Diego State. You want something that's really fun, Jeff? You want a way to really settle the argument? Let's piss everybody off and all the pollsters and have Wichita State play San Diego State. You know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I'm going. Let's have Wichita State play San Diego State in Dallas first Monday in April for the national championship.
I would love that. Is that game in Cowboy Stadium?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Is Jerry Jones going to sell seats behind beams again?
Like he did for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I don't bleeping know.
Come on, you rat bastard, Jerry Jones. Do it again. Screw it up again, you stupid SOB.
I just know there are going to be 100,000 people in there.
Wow.
That's going to set – I believe that
going to set a record.
It's going to set an attendance record. So far, the attendance record is held by the Georgia Dome, and that was last year.
How many did he get in there for the Super Bowl?
103,000.
And people were sitting behind beams. How great was that?
And it was cold.
How great was that? You know what? Wasn't that Super Bowl colder than the one in New York?
Yes. and the one in Phoenix.
See? And they were upset about a cold weather game.
Yeah. And it turned out to be absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you what, I lost a bet that day. Super Bowl 45 with the Packers and the Steelers. And I lost a bet to Tony Midas when the Packers got the stop they needed to seal the game. I won't live that down. But I tell you what, Tony has a cool picture in his office at Marquette Catholic of Steve Young and Brett Favre hugging each other after, I think it was the 98 NFC wildcard game when Young found Terrell Owens for the winning touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But how cool would it be to see two underdogs
I would love that.
play for the national championship?
I would love that. I think my sister did it because we do it every year. My sister goes to Vegas before basketball season
look at
starts.
Liz's Final Four. Syracuse, Arizona, San Diego State, and North Carolina.
I like that.
How about San Diego State and North Carolina hooking up?
I like that. My sister, I think, she put $10 on them to win the championship.
On whom?
On San Diego State. She put
$10
on San Diego State to win the championship, $10 on the Padres to win the World Series. We do it every year.
Did she put 10 on the Chargers?
I think she put 10 on the Chargers too. Yeah, we do it every year.
Nice.
Just in case.
I tell you what's fun. The first football game that Liz and I watched together was Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and Andrew Luck and the Colts. And the Colts came back and won.
That guy's got some luck, doesn't he?
Kansas City found that out the hard way.
Yeah, that's got some luck.
But
hey,
I love Liz's.
Go ahead.
I love Liz's Final Four: Syracuse, Arizona, San Diego State, North Carolina.
Yeah,
that would be a fun one.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I like to see Saint. I really want to see now that you got that in my head. I really want to see State and Wichita State in the finals, in the final game. I really want to see that.
That would be fun.
That's going to be. I hope they put them in the same place. I really do, because that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
But they would have to come out of two different brackets, though.
Yeah,
they would have to...
maybe. Well, if they come out of two different brackets, then they'll meet down the road. But if they stay in the same bracket, eventually they'll definitely have to meet, and that's what I really want. I really want them to meet.
Well, Selection Sunday, we'll find out, and then Monday we'll go over that. You had an additional thought.
Yeah, well, earlier in the chat room, Josh came back into the room, and he says, "Hey, Jeff, why don't you talk about some wrestling?" So I know this is Potluck Friday.
Yes, it is.
And I know you are a wrestling fan, and I know
am.
Josh is a wrestling fan, and I've been watching it since I'm probably about 5 years old, and I'll be 48 in March. So I've been watching it my whole life. And now with the WWE coming out, WWE Network coming out, do you know all day yesterday I was watching the WWE Network? All day on my computer. I had it on all day. It was
I just
great.
have one question, and I mean this in fun. Did they edit out whenever someone said WWF in the old videos? No?
No, it's on there. I was watching a match, an old Monday Night Raw match with the Road Dogg with the Road Dogg.
Oh,
and
nice!
He comes out and all that, and he's the WWF Tag Team Champions. WWF, man. Yeah, no, they have it all in there. It's great.
Wow,
it's great. I watched WrestleMania 2 yesterday. Today I'm going to watch WrestleMania 3. I'm going to watch one WrestleMania a day
until you get up to date.
Yeah, until I get all the way up to the one that's coming up.
And it's a 7-day, it's a free week-long trial, isn't it?
Free week-long, but hey, $10 a month.
That's not bad.
$10 stinking dollars a month. Last night they debuted NXT Arrival.
Yeah.
Holy freaking cow. That was first ladder match ever in the NXT.
Wow.
For the NXT Championship. It was freaking awesome. You know, a lot of the WWE stars were there. Flair was there with his daughter. His daughter is a diva in the NXT. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that either, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I found that out last night watching WWE Network.
I remember his son David was in WCW for a while.
His daughter is a diva in the NXT.
Nice.
Okay, so he was there sitting with his daughter watching because they had the Divas Championship match again.
Right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Right.
And Triple H started the whole thing off. standing in the middle of the ring going, "Are you ready?" doing his "Are you ready?" thing. HBK was there.
Oh, that's
Cesaro wrestled last night. Too Hottie and Scotty was there wrestling for tag team last night.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours of freaking awesomeness. And then they had a pregame after that.
Now y'all have convinced me to go get this free trial and sign up for WWE Network. Now y'all have convinced me.
Hey, Brian, for $10 a month, you get everything,
and it's not a bad. It's not a bad deal.
No,
it's
not
a bad deal at all.
Every freaking pay-per-view right there.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
And they were having some technical difficulties last night. You can see it while they were streaming it.
Yeah.
So when I woke up this morning to come, to be listening to the show and get ready.
Yeah.
I was checking my email. I got an email from the WWE Network apologizing for the technical difficulties. It was their very first live ever show on WWE Network. We will get better and better, we promise.
That's great. What's your favorite WrestleMania?
Huh?
What's your favorite WrestleMania? Or what are some of your favorite WrestleMania matches? You want to talk wrestling, Josh? I'm doing that right now.
Fitzy's a wrestling fan too.
Yeah,
actually.
He is. Yeah,
we got a lot of wrestling. I've been watching them. You know what? Here's something really quick.
Okay.
Growing up in New York, in upstate New York, I grew up in Rockland County. Mm-hmm. My dad had an insurance business in the city in Brooklyn, and he had a partner. And the partner knew Vince McMahon Sr.
Wow.
Introduced my dad to Vince McMahon Sr. And my dad's insurance company, my dad owned it, ended up getting all the wrestlers' insurance.
Wow.
So we used to go to a lot of the events in the early days for free and going backstage and hang out.
Did you go
and all that?
Did you go to any in the Garden?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
nice.
I went to the Garden a lot. I didn't go to any of the WrestleManias because it was just way too crazy back then.
Yeah,
just way. I mean, if you even watch them today, because I watched the first two, it's nuts. You could see how small of an area they have around the ring compared to today.
Yeah,
and it's way different. So and it's really cool to see how far they have come from the beginning to where they are now. You got to remember, when Vince McMahon started, he was a broadcaster.
Yeah, he was commentator.
He was the commentator because his dad still owned it.
And he did Saturday Night's Main Event.
Right. They have all that stuff on WWE. It's great. It's great. I love it, man. I can't. And to kick it all off, I have about 500 shares of stock in the WWE. So this is great for me.
How the hell did you get that?
when they went public, when they first came out, we grabbed a whole bunch of stock.
There you go.
Really quickly.
Solid investment. Very solid.
Yeah, and I've had it for years. And I'm just waiting for it to split right now. But right now, I'll tell you, it's when I bought it, it was a certain amount. I've already tripled my money.
Nice. Very nice.
So, and I'm never going to get rid of it because it's my retirement fund.
Don't get rid of it, man. Don't.
Don't.
You'll be sitting
I love WWE.
You'll be sitting pretty with that.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have, when you get it, Brian, you're going to have to watch the Bret Hart HBK interview with Jim Ross.
I will.
It's 2 hours of just, wow, really? Yeah, it really is. It's pretty freaking awesome, man. For $10 a month, come on.
Can't go wrong with that.
I mean, the pay-per-views alone cost you $55-$60
just for 3 hours.
Right.
Just for 3 hours.
And you're getting every pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else? They do a broadcast, a pre-show before every Raw and every SmackDown.
Nice.
And that's on WWE Network. So you get a pre-show interviews, what's coming up on the show.
They got old SmackDown shows?
Huh?
They got old SmackDown shows?
Old SmackDown. They have all the old SmackDown shows.
All right. For that selfish reason, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to register for it later today before I head to Michigan City, because there is one episode on SmackDown that I can't wait to watch. One old episode where Stone Cold pours beer on Stephanie.
Yeah. Hey, do you know something? A friend of mine that I do another show with called Chillin' with Jeff and Kenny C.
Yeah,
I've been doing that for about 5 years. Him and I used to do a wrestling show together.
Oh, nice.
Okay? And he still does the wrestling show. He went to a Monday Night Raw live show, made a sign that says, "Chillin' with Jeff and Kenny C loves the WWE." And they showed it on air. I'm going to find that episode on the Raw replays, and I'll let you know where it is.
Find it.
Yeah. It's great. It's right at the beginning of the show, too. You see the sign. It's great.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that is
really
so cool. Jeff S. got right.
Fans.
That's great. Now I got to read. Now I got several reasons to sign up for it. Not just for the free trial either, but not a bad investment.
You want to know something, Brian?
Yeah.
It came out this Monday, right, at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
Or my time. While you were doing your show, I'm listening to the show. And I was trying to sign up the whole time starting at 6 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Took me 5 hours to finally sign in and get my account. That's how jam-packed that freaking thing was when people were signing up.
I'm glad you got it.
Took me 5 hours, but I got that thing. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is crazy. Jeff Escow riding shotgun with me for the second hour. We got to pause for a break, but Jeff, thanks for riding along with us. I appreciate it. And I know I'm going to have you back again. And let me thank Josh Lopez as well for riding shotgun with me for the first hour. Jeff, thank you. I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome, bud. Have a great day, my friend.
Thank you. We take a break and we go inside the journey with a positive message. I will be back in a deuce.
An ordinary sunny day. An ordinary family's living room filled with an ordinary bunch of kids. And they were doing nothing. They were couch slouching. They were rug imitating. And lazy minute after lazy minute was passing them by. When suddenly...
Huh? Hey guys, that's a personal foul. Inactive activity on a sunny day.
Coming to the rescue was NFL running back Reggie Bush.
Players don't get lazy penalties. Let's play.
Those kids, they listened to Reggie. They got up and play they did. There was fun and running. There were smiles and jumping. And laziness was crushed.
Hey kids, don't get a lazy penalty.
Kids, listen to Reggie and avoid lazy penalties. Be a player. Get up and play for an hour a day. Go online to check out smallstep.gov for fun playtime ideas.
So you can be a player too.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Be a player.
My name is Matt Rencars, and I'm the founder of Fusion Ions. We are so confident that you're going to love our bands. We want you to try one risk-free so you can see for yourself how powerful these bands really are. Don't wait. Go to FusionIons.com to find out how you can receive your very own free Fusion Ions band. Take advantage before they are gone. FusionIons.com. That's FusionIonz.com.
How do you turn a batter into a hitter? With Slugmaster Hitting Stations. Slugmaster Hitting Stations are the most effective and durable baseball and softball batting practice devices available. Versatile, compact, and easy to use, they are excellent tools for ball player at any skill level. Attached to any pole or post for an instant hitting station. Use it at the ballpark, at home, or anywhere you want to get some hits in. Work the strike zone, top to bottom, in and out. The most complete workout year-round, indoors or outdoors, teams or individuals. Slugmaster equipment is constructed from high-grade steel. The rugged design means years and years of use. Slugmaster equipment is used by youth, high school, college, and professional ball players. For more information or to place your order, call 708-705-7354 or visit slugmaster.com. Slugmaster baseball and softball hitting aids, turning batters into hitters.
Didn't expect this one, did you?
now the Ritz. Different types to wear a day coat, pants with the stripes and cutaway.
I haven't played this one yet.
Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper. Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
46 beyond the second hour here on Snowman in the Morning. Let me thank Josh Lopez for riding shotgun with me for the first hour and Jeff Escal for riding shotgun with me for the second hour. We are presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. Now, something I started doing, and I got encouraged by the folks that are listening and involved with the show to keep doing. I call it the journey. When I first started the show, it was Brian's journey, so I took my name off of it. I want this journey to be taken by everybody that rides along with me during the show. Beg pardon. And I got a positive thought from the King James Radio Network. Inside the Journey is the best part of the show for me. It reveals your difference from everyone else and something I can identify with on a few levels. Corbett Thompson, I thank you. It's just something that allows me to not only connect with myself, but connect with you guys, the folks that listen, the folks that make the show. I was asked a question 2 years ago after the pair of Marist miracles in the playoffs that, you know, what makes it go for you? And my response was immediate. The fans do. And I said something that is true and remains true to this day. Without you, there is no me. And I mean that. You know, I've had different folks say to me, not many people listen to your show. I had someone tell me, no one listens to your show, which is false because all these wonderful people that are in the chat room with me and that comment on the Facebook page and on Twitter, they tune in. So let me thank you guys for tuning in. And to the ones that tune in every morning, I thank you. And even if you tune in infrequently, the fact that you do and the fact that you love listening to the show, and I've been told that several times, I thank you all for that. You guys make this fun for me. You guys bring this to the next level, especially when we participate in the chat and the debates that go back and forth that make sports talk what it's supposed to be. Lively, fun debate. Lively, fun debate. I heard someone say a long time ago, we're in the business of opinion. And this is true. But at the same time, I can say I'm in the business of making people smile for a couple of hours. You know, take your mind off of what's going on in the world. Now, some of the things I've talked about this week, building the lead, being positive, and what I want to talk about this morning is pushing through adversity. Now, I had a horrible night last night. It was very late. I had trouble getting home and getting to sleep, and I had a few things to do before I went to bed. And I finally went to bed, but for only a little while. And I had thought, I really did. I really gave thought to saying, you know what, I need to rest. I got a game to do tonight. I'm going to air a previous episode. But the more I got going, I said, no, I can't do that. I have to be consistent. And I thank Josh Lopez for getting in my ear about that. You know, Lopez tells me every day, you know, Brian, you got to be consistent with the show. You got to take it all the way through. You started it. It is your baby. See it all the way through. And that's why Josh is one of my producers. And Mr. Lopez, I know you're graduating soon, and I thank you for that. A couple other friends of mine, Patrick Ketza and Ruben Tish, that have written Shotgun on the Arena Sports Network. I thank them, too. Fitz, I thank you, and I love you. I met Fitz at Marquette Catholic. We got some stuff together. Jeff Escal, Sports World Radio, he does an awesome job. And I thank him, especially for this morning, for riding shotgun with me for the second hour We didn't do trivia this morning. We'll be back with that on Monday. Brian Payon, thank you as well. You know, and Brian Payon made a very important change for me inside the journey. He basically said, don't waste time on the haters. Leave a message that lifts people up. Well, there's a very important person that I'm going to lift up this morning, and her name is Liz. I met Liz Labor Day weekend last year. And Liz, honey, I never want you to go away. I have been inspired by this woman. I have been uplifted by this woman. At a point where we were having a conversation, and I actually thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to give all this up and just go get a regular job and be done with it. And Liz stopped me in mid-sentence. And she said these words to me. She says, the only way that you'll disappoint me is if you stop pursuing this. She reminds me every day, this is you, go get it. Everything else will take care of itself in time. And she reminds me every day, I just want to see you happy. Well, now I get to return the favor because, Liz, you make me happy. I've never been this happy with anyone in my life, and I mean every single word of that. You mean the world to me. Not just because we share the same thoughts and the same dreams, but because you fill a spot in my soul that I thought would never be filled again because I was so flawed. You, my dear, have looked at my flaws and laughed at them. And I say laughed at them because you have accepted me for who I am. In a society where, in many ways, it's become individualized, I have found my better half, and she is every bit of that. Liz, honey, you make me so happy. I thought I would never find the person that would have this kind of effect on me. And I don't mind talking about it because that's what you do. You tell the person that makes you this happy how happy you make them. And baby, you do. You do. You fill a spot in my soul that I thought would never be filled again because I messed up so many times before. And I thought because I messed up so many times before I would never find this, but then I found you. Or you found me. You found me in one of my lowest points too, because I didn't think I'd find anyone that would make me happy. And then you came along, sweetheart. You came along and put the spark back in me. With everything and all the turmoil that's going on around me and all the fighting that you and I have had to do against people and against situations, we have always been a team. And you've always been my biggest cheerleader, honey. And that's not the only thing that I love about you. I'll say it a third time, and it's so true. You're so right with what she just said. You have to put those mistakes in the past and live for the future. It's true. When you came along, honey, you caught me at a point where I thought I would never bounce back from, but I have. You lift me up every day. I talk about you every day, and I don't mind doing it. I love you very much. And I think God brought you along at a time where we needed each other. If there was ever a person that defined the word teammate, that would be you, sweetie. As Matsui was to Walter Payton, as Darryl Johnston was to Emmitt Smith, you are to me. And I hope I continue to be that way to you. The last year has been hell in a handbasket, but you've always stood by my side. You've always had a positive word for me in my ear, and you always told me, keep going. I want y'all to learn something from me. I am never perfect and never wanted to be. But Liz, the first thing that you've taught me is a lesson that my dad has taught me, and it was the last thing my dad taught me before he passed away. And he said to be yourself. And you've allowed me to do that. Honey, you've allowed me to do that in ways I thought I'd never be able to again. We will always be a team, sweetheart. You are my teammate. You are my heart. You are my soul. So now you guys know who I speak about each morning before I sign off and I say I love you to this person. She is that person. She's always been that person. She's been that person for almost 2 years. We've shared so much together, and we fought through so much, and there's still more fighting that we have to do. But doggone it, those fights are going to be won. And with everybody else that's in our corner right now, I love you all for it. I love y'all for allowing me to come into your homes for the 2 hours that I'm on air and have a positive effect on you. And Liz, baby, you have had such an effect on me that it's hard to find the words to describe it. I love you, sweetheart. From the day that I saw you until the day God takes my last breath. You are the most important person, and I thank you.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
And thank you guys for tuning in, being in the chat room, lighting it up, having fun, debating, going back and forth on whatever subject it is. Y'all make this fun. I could never do this alone and don't ever want to do this alone. This journey cannot be taken alone, and it will not be taken without you guys. The moment you guys are out of my corner, I hang up the microphone, and I know you guys are there, and I got every one of you guys' back. Period. Thank you all for allowing me into your home for the last couple of hours since we launched on October 1st. I love you all very much, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great day. Remember to make your next move your best move. I love y'all. Talk to you Monday. So long, everybody.